Hello, welcome to the BTU Wood Shop. Well, let me go over here. My name is Hunter. Let me show you around. Right over here, we have the most important portion of the shop, the safety equipment. As you can see in these bold red letters, there are a couple rules that are really important to follow. First off, safety goggles are mandatory when working in the tool room. Second of all, you should never work in the tool room alone. Always have someone within earshot in case you need help. Below the convenient signage, you can find an array of different hearing protection. This is important when you're using some of the louder tools like the table saw. Below is the work gloves. These aren't mandatory, but they can be helpful to avoid splinters and burns. Just next to the gloves and hearing protection, right here next to our hearing protection, we have an array of glasses. These safety glasses are just to the left of our hearing protection, we have an array of glasses. These safety glasses are meant to keep your eyes safe from flying debris. There are glasses to fit over yours, or there are regular glasses for those non-glasses wearing individuals. If you really feel like being safe, you can wear a full face visor. Over here, you can find an array of aprons made by the BTU staff. These work great for keeping your clothes clean and holding on to some tools. Some other safety equipment that should be mentioned is the ventilation system. Here we have an overall room ventilation system from the brand Jet. This works great to keep the room less dusty. Back here we have our dust right. This dust right helps eliminate dust coming from individual tools. As you can see, there's this tube system that goes around the room and attaches to various tools. This helps keeps whatever tool you're working on clean and dust free, and this hose allows us to clean up our messes after. To turn on the ventilation system, all we have to do is click this remote. And the same goes for the dust right. Another important safety tip is to keep long hair pulled back, tuck your jewelry in, and to tie any loose ends on hoodies or sweatshirts. Now that we know how to be safe in the space, let's take a look around at some tools. Starting off, we have a lovely workbench. Our workbench is home to the vise, an array of hardware, and a handful of other miscellaneous tools. Just next to the workbench, we have our gluing utensils. We have clamps, glue, and other various wood gluing things. Down below is our air compressor. Next, you're good. This is where we'll find our straight edges, carpenter squares, writing utensils, measuring tapes, and drills. Below are a variety of other tools. For example, pliers, screwdrivers, routers, and circular saws. One important safety tip is that there's this first aid box located directly next to our toolbox. This is in case of an emergency or just if you get a little cut or scratch. One last area for miscellaneous tools is this shelf here. Here we have casting supplies, spot welders, and other various tools. Now it's time to get started on the real power tools. Here we have our brand new shiny bandsaw. This bandsaw is used for making curved cuts in wood. It's extremely versatile and is great for the beginning woodworker. It's extremely versatile and great for any woodworker. The most important part about the bandsaw is that you keep your fingers away from the blade. Otherwise, it's a relatively safe tool. This guard can be moved up and down and should be according to the thickness of your wood. If you have it too high up, it's easier to get your fingers caught in the blade below. Here we have our brand new shiny saw stop. This is a table saw. It's for cutting large pieces of plywood or long lengths of any wood. It's extremely useful and versatile as well. This is a really fancy table saw because if it detects any sort of conductive material on the blade drops into a break and disappears into the table. It's really cool. This table saw is the main safety tip for the table saw is to, again, keep your hands away from the sharp, dangerous blade as it's spinning rapidly. Here we have what's known as a compound saw. Here we have what's known as a chop saw or a miter saw. The miter saw is useful for making specifically angled cuts. As you can see, you can turn this once you loosen it. Isn't that awesome? Again, the main rule is to keep your hands away from the sharp spinning object. Don't get too close. This is a CNC machine. It usually doesn't work, but now it does.
Yeah, it's making noise. I've tried to turn it off. I don't know how. It usually doesn't work.
This might not work, but it's here, and it's super useful for cutting computer-generated paths in wood. Next, we have a belt sander. This is for making stuff smoother. It is also something you should avoid with your flesh. This might be a tool you would maybe want to use gloves with, or not. Just be careful. This is a drill press. It's like a normal drill, but it only drills up and down very straight. If you want to drill straight holes through stuff, you use the drill press. It has an adjustable bed and adjustable speed. It's pretty cool if you don't put your fingers under the drill. Use this in case of a fire.